Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're at episode 319 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's fighting Boo with me tonight?
I am Joe Butler, and I'll perform fusion to become the ultimate Saiyan warrior.
My name's Austin Dumas, and I will do that grind to 100% for Boo's ultimate destruction.
So we are here talking about a long-time game coming on the show, Dragon Ball Z Boo's Fury, developed by Webfoot Technologies, published by Atari. Remember those guys? And came out in 2004. Damn. So this game is essentially Legacy of Goku 3, but for some reason, I really don't know why they dropped off Legacy of Goku. I mean, I guess because Goku's not... Well, Goku's in this. He's the one that kills Boo, essentially. Partly. Decently. Yeah.
I think it's made by a different company, isn't it?
Same.
Oh.
Webfoot.
Interesting.
My only guess is that it's because Goku's not like the main focus of this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have everyone else's different arcs.
Yeah, but
technically, Boo was also supposed to be. It might have been made whenever. What is it? Technically, the Boo saga was supposed to be the end of Goku's story. That's why he stays dead at the end of the Cell saga. But I've mentioned before, probably another Dragon Ball podcast. People didn't like Gohan in the manga for the first couple chapters, and that's why they brought Goku back.
Can they get rid of him again?
Kind of.
I mean, but you still...
Do people like Gohan enough yet?
Yes. Actually, finally they do like Gohan enough.
Hey, Gohan got his own movie.
Goku, go away.
I still need to go see.
Gohan got his own movie because the creator was having his son make the movie, and his son was like, "Can I make the movie about Gohan and Piccolo?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And people loved it.
I do want to watch that movie, A Superhero, at some point soon, because I've been in a Dragon Ball mood, and that's kind of how this ended up on the show, because we did Legacy of Goku 2 back in episode 50-something, and I've been thinking about this game for years. I just never did it, because, I don't know. It intimidated me a bit, because how long to beat has this set higher than... This game did not take me that long to beat.
Yeah, it's a pretty short one.
Uh-huh. So for those that don't know, it's a top-down action RPG game. That's pretty much what it is. It's a pretty basic Game Boy Advance game. I mean, I shouldn't say basic, but it's a top-down basic RPG. I'll go with that. And it tells you the entire Boo saga, and I didn't realize this because I forgot, added 2 movies into this too.
I'm fine with it, because one thing that I remember specifically because I never played the second Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku. I played the first one, but I'm fine with it because it's better than Goku has to go fight a bear for some reason, or Goku has to go run around a dungeon for some reason. It at least adds a little bit of somewhat canon Dragon Ball Z to the game.
So is this a pretty good retelling of the Boo saga?
Yeah.
Other than the movies added in, it's pretty close.
Okay. Because I've never actually finished the Boo saga. It's the one Dragon Ball Z arc. I just do not... I stopped multiple times. When I was in high school and I met a friend of mine who was a big Dragon Ball Z fan, which is what kind of made me actually take a listen to Dragon Ball Z, was during the Boo saga, and I just couldn't do it. It was just too much of Boo.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't, and I didn't see the tournament stuff leading up to it. It was the time that I was watching it on Toonami was when they were fighting Majin Buu, then Super Buu, then Super Buu with Gohan, Super Buu with Gotenks, Kid Buu, and I'm just like, this is annoying.
So definitely need to go watch at least the last 20 to 15 episodes.
Yeah,
I should.
It deserves to finish. You don't have to watch it all the way through, but it deserves to be finished.
The opening to the game is actually, which is in the anime as well, I believe is filler.
Oh, where he's running on Snake Way, fighting random people for no reason?
No, with a tournament that he does with PyCon. I believe that's filler. I'm not 100% sure. Someone can correct me.
Oh,
but
that's in the show, right?
The show, yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the show has some filler. There's one point in the Cell saga that's a filler episode, but it's my favorite episode of the Cell saga where Gohan and Goku are basically Super Saiyan all the time, and they're waiting for the Cell saga to start. And so Gohan goes and runs around, and he runs into a village Goku helped as a kid, and one of his bad guys are there, and he's like, "You look like this kid I once met named Goku," and he's like, "Oh, I'm his son," and he goes, "Yeah, no, fuck that, bye. But I paid you to destroy the village. No, I'm not dealing with this kid. Fuck you, bye." And that's a whole filler episode, but it's one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z episodes. Yeah, it happens.
I just know the Garlic Jr. thing that's filler to the movie.
Yeah.
Also not canon, but that's...
I have a theory that people are okay with filler as long as it's not boring.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as long as it can be informative in some way that we don't already know, like some amazing backstory filler. Oh, yes, please.
You can make it work. It just depends. I mean, you just can't have it be like, oh, the world's about to end. Oh, hey, we're gonna go, do this little fun thing all of a sudden now. Like you can't have it like that. It's got like an arc.
Yeah, timing helps a lot too.
Looking at you, Bleach.
Yeah, I know. That's actually what I'm referencing. I never really watched Bleach, but my wife has made that comment before multiple times about complaining about Bleach.
Yeah.
So
skip all of Bleach and just go to the Blood Year War, whatever, 1,000-Year Blood War. Oh my gosh, the animation in that is so smooth.
Never watch Bleach. Probably never will.
No,
I'm scared of animes that are super long.
Well, no, that's why I'm saying the 1,000-Year Blood War is it's like the continuation, but it's not under the same Bleach name, so it's easy to find.
Yeah, but it is the final arc. But I usually say watch Bleach. Bleach is a lot shorter. If you skip, you should skip 90% of the filler. There is one filler, which is where I can explain it. It's the filler where their swords come to life and you can see what they look like. I only recommend watching that because that one is made by the creator and it actually is referenced in 1,000-Year Blood War. And that's the only filler you can't skip. Other than that, you can skip all the other ones. And there's even a fucking list of where to skip them and shit like that.
Oh, maybe I should say
there's a website that you can look up animes and it will pick out all the filler episodes for you.
Because I'm trying to watch Dragon Ball Z now off and on, but it's very off and on. But I'm trying to rewatch it when I need something just to put on, but it hasn't happened this month. I just haven't cared enough.
Didn't you get pretty far in it recently? Didn't you get through like Cell
Saga? I hadn't even gotten to Vegeta showing up yet, so I didn't get far at all. So Pinkon, he's in the filler of this, but he's also he's part of the plot of that one of the movies, correct?
Yes.
Okay, because I had no idea who that character was when I played this. I'm like, I know Dragon Ball Z to a degree. Like, I was around when it was on. Like I said, a good friend of mine was always talking about it, and he was big into it. Like, I remembered this, and I'm like, I don't know this character. Like, I know who Dabura is. I know who most of these people are. I did not know him. So that's why I was confused, too. But that makes sense, because he was a filler arc, and his continuation's in a movie that I never saw or heard about. Because I don't think that was a movie that was played on Toonami back when I was in high school. I graduated in 06. Or at least when we were into Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's one thing that I at least loved, like back in the day, and God, they do not do it anymore, is Toonami, like at least every couple of months, whenever the movies officially came out, they would air them on Toonami on TV. So that's, I want to say, the only one that I haven't seen, because I think they're really either violent or really weren't good, was I want to say the third Brawly movie and then the Fusion movie that this is based off of. But I remember watching that on VHS as a kid, so memory's kind of there.
I've heard Bio Brawly from Reddit was terrible.
Bio Brawly is terrible.
Okay. The only movies I remember Toonami playing of Dragon Ball was Cooler's Revenge and Cooler's Return. I remember it being a big fucking deal when those were coming on. Like, they were like, we're playing Cooler's Revenge tonight. It was a big deal.
Austin, are you a big what's it called? What's that game you like, Mike, about time travel?
Chrono Trigger?
You a big Chrono Trigger fan too?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Not to say it, I actually just haven't ever tried one of them.
There's only one, so don't worry.
I can't be a fan of something that I haven't tried.
Same.
But I have heard good things. I have friends that are really big on anything Chrono Trigger. So heard a lot.
I mean, I know partly why he brings it up because it's the same artist. It's one reason why I got more interested into this type of stuff, because it's Akira Toriyama doing the art.
Oh, well, there's another movie. It's after the Fusion movie. There's a movie where the main character looks like basically Chrono from Chrono Trigger. He has a flute that he plays, and he has a sword on his back. And that, I think that's one of as much as I don't remember a lot of the movies after the Cell Saga, I think that's the only one I remember people saying it was really good. And I think me and my sister went out of our way to watch it, and we both liked it too, for the most part.
I just can't remember all the different movies, but I feel like maybe they probably did play the Brawly movie, but I never watched it. I know that. I mean, this game did a few things that I didn't expect. I mean, I knew it would have an open world just like Legacy of Goku 2 did, but there's little random things you can go to, and there's at one point, which I'm assuming isn't in the show, where they have to go find all the Dragon Balls. And you get to play as Gotenks and Trunks and go and do little side missions. That was fun.
I don't think that's in the show, but they do it in the background. And like I said, that is also based off of the second Brawly movie, where they what is it? They I think Goten and Trunks are doing something and they end up running into Brawly. Funny enough, they do kill Brawly and everyone's like, what are you guys doing? I don't know, we just killed some random guy. And they're like, oh, okay. And no one knew Brawly came back a second time.
That is kind of dumb and funny at the same time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed playing as Goten and Trunks. I mean, even in this game where the characters don't level up if you're not using them, it didn't feel bad. Like, I'm usually not a big fan of games where you make me re-level up other characters, but in this game, it actually kind of worked. I really enjoyed leveling in this game. No, it's not.
I was gonna say one of the things with that is I hate level gating like progress. Like if I can beat something at a lower level, let me try. Like let me challenge myself to that. But everything like I did basically like 100% it. There's a lot of extra grinding, walking back and forth between screens to level up. But other than that, I love this game, and a lot of that's probably my nostalgia shades because it was one of the first Game Boy Advance games.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with nostalgic for a game. I mean, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. I think as a guy who played this game for the first time, this game is still really fun. I had a great time. Like I didn't like you're talking about level gates. Like it didn't bother me because I would just over level anyway because it was just I had this on my Steam Deck, the right way to play it, by the way, and I was just able to just grind back and forth and had a blast. I beat this game really damn quick too.
I think I'm gonna bite that bullet and install an emulator on my Steam Deck.
I mean, if you have one, there's no point not to. Just watch a YouTube video about Emu Deck and just follow the video because it's a bit complicated, but hella worth it. I mean, it's one of the main things. I mean, because I bought a small Steam Deck like an idiot with the size of the hard drive because I thought, oh, I'm gonna use a memory card. I don't need a bigger hard drive, and I regret it because some games run slower since I have to install them to the memory card and not to the hard drive because they can't fit. So
I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm not very technical, and I say that wholeheartedly. I switched out my hard drive twice, actually. I did mine, I did my friend's. So honestly, if I think I can do it, might as well bite the bullet and do it anyways.
I was about to ask because I don't have a Steam Deck yet. It's something I intend to get when I can afford it, but
worth it when you can.
I had the suspicion that they would be relatively easy to upgrade the hard drive in. I'd imagine they probably just use like laptop-sized hard drives. I can't remember what the smaller version is called.
It's not that hard, right, Joe? You just kind of take it apart and plug it in.
You literally unscrew like 4 screws. You crack it open. You move something else, and then you take out the old hard drive. You put the old memory. You put the new memory. The only thing that I can think of is a little complicated. besides having to buy the screwdriver and the kit to crack it open, you also just have to buy a USB-C flash drive, or not flash drive. Yeah, flash drive, a little USB stick, and download the Steam iOS onto it. So once you have it all put back together with like your 1 terabyte or 2 terabyte, you have to put the
Steam OS program on it.
Yeah, the Steam iOS program on it with the USB stick. So
not that bad. I actually have a USB-C stick because that's how I transfer over my ROMs. So I'm not gonna do it because I don't like opening up things like that. That terrifies me.
Like I said, it's super not hard to mess up, and I say that because I don't even do my own oil, if anything.
I don't either, but I don't fuck with machines. But I know there's people I could probably pay somebody to do it who knows what the hell they're doing. Like I'm sure there's a shop that would do it for me.
Yeah, probably too. Yeah,
because there's you break it, I fix it store near me where I actually have to go again and get my son's Switch R button fixed because it doesn't work.
I want to say they'll probably do it because last time I checked, you can buy like Steam products through them that are secondhand. So you can buy like the Steam Deck stand for the TV and chargers from them, like actual Steam brand.
No, okay. One thing about like the leveling is that as soon as you leave a room, window, zone, whatever word you want to use, and walk back in, the enemies respawn. So it's really fucking easy to level in this game.
Yeah.
I also like the level, as much as I thought I saw someone say complaining about them. I do like the level doors too, because at least you know what level you should be whenever you.
It helps in that sense. Like I get why you don't like it, Austin, but I also understand why they're doing it, so you're not too weak and get your ass pummeled and be like, oh fuck this game. Like this is. But I get what you mean. It should be recommended, not forced.
Yeah, maybe instead of a forced door, there's just like a warning, like as you walk through, if you're quote unquote under leveled, and then it will tell you like, hey, this is typically this level area, instead of just blocking you.
Yeah, but this is the formula. They use the same formula for all 3 games.
The first one doesn't do that.
Pretty sure the first one has it, doesn't it? It's been a long time since I played it.
No, I remember the first one really well. Like I said, I want to say I played it like a year or two ago.
Oh,
so
2 does it for sure.
He does it for sure, yeah.
Maybe that's why 2 does it, because I remember 1 being a bitch.
Mhm.
But it could have been I was super underleveled. I haven't played 1 in years. Probably 2003. So
I was
over
going to
20
say,
years.
when was 1 released?
This is
Last time I played
2004, probably 02. 01 or 02.
Well, that was the last time I played it. That would have been like 10-year-old Austin. So.
I do want to replay it. If you're, it might be on. I have it on my list to get done this year. So, but another thing I want to mention is that this game doesn't have too many playable characters, which I think is actually a good thing. You have Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, Gotenks, and Trunks. That's it, right? I don't think you have anybody else because Piccolo's not in this game.
Technically, Gogeta.
Okay. You have Gogeta and Gotenks, but it's pretty much just the same characters.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it Gogeta and the... Because they fuse twice, don't they, in this? Gogeta and Vegito.
Yeah.
Because Vegito is how they kill Kid Buu finally, right? Wait, no. They're not even fusing they killed Kid Buu. Vegeta just distracts him, and then Goku hits him with a giant spirit bomb.
Yeah, they fuse, and then Buu eats them, and then they unfuse. And that's because they use the Patara earrings, and that's technically permanent. And then they retcon that later on. What is it? I'm trying to think. Yeah, so what is it called? They fuse to fight Buu, but after they get out of his body, they kill him with Spirit Bomb.
Okay, that's what it was. I had known of that because I had seen how Buu had died. Either I don't know if I caught those episodes or this is just people telling me constantly. Because I knew a lot of this arc, I just never, but I knew of it. Like I knew who Daburo was. I knew who most of the things were that happened here.
Well, yeah, it was a big deal. It's the first time the fucking Spirit Bomb ever fucking worked in the entire series.
Oh, I thought he killed Frieza with it.
I don't.
He hits Frieza with it.
No, he does it and it misses, and then Frieza's it throws like one of those spinning blades at him, and it misses Goku, and it cuts him in half. And then Goku's flying away, and he's like, "I won't let you leave me like this, Goku." And he fires a beam, and then Goku, I think, fires his own beam, and that's what finally kills Frieza, quote unquote, until he comes back as a robot.
Okay, I do like Cyborg Frieza.
It's a cool look.
There's a Funko Pop of that too. I actually don't own really any Dragon Ball Z Funko Pops, surprisingly. Maybe 1 or 2, but not many.
Just go to your local game. Go to your local GameStop and buy the Ginyu Force ones. Those are pretty cool.
I don't like Ginyu Force. They're idiots. I have held them before. I've never bought them. I almost bought a couple. I almost bought a Beerus off somebody and a couple others, but I just couldn't pull the trigger. So I don't know. I don't want to go down that road because there's too many Funko Pops for Dragon Ball Z. So I'm trying not to.
That's funny.
There's a fuck ton. And there's some really expensive ones too. I have a couple complete sets of Funko Pops, so you shouldn't be surprised. So my Funko Pops like to fall off my shelves now when my cat gets mad at me. So it makes me not want to put them out as much.
The new cat.
I have the whole Hakusho set set up, but it's currently on the floor because she keeps knocking it down. I'm just gonna leave it there for the moment. She's a little brat. But yeah, no, we buy sets when we can. That's why I'm like. I'll buy a Dragon Ball Z one when eventually the voice actors come to a convention I go to. Then I will pick up a character and get it signed. That's kind of my rule of thumb now with certain stuff. Like if the actor is coming, get it signed. Other than that, not as interested. Plus, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because I do like Dragon Ball Z. Like playing through this game really made me realize how much I like Dragon Ball Z. So there was one really dumb part in this game that I actually had to reset the game because I'm using save states and I couldn't do it. The part where you're Trunks and you have to hit Vegeta in the gravity chamber and I couldn't get it to work other than I read on Reddit. They're like, hit the button immediately after the talking. That's how you're supposed to do it. Like you have to just be tapping the attack button. So as soon as the text bubble goes away, he hits him. Otherwise, I couldn't fucking catch him. I was getting really annoyed. Anyone else have that issue?
Yes.
Trying to hit Vegeta to end the part. I had
to cheese the game and basically run him into a corner and then spam the attack button.
Yeah, I think that's less cheesy than mashing the button. That's toxic.
That is less cheesy. You did it the way the game expects you to. I literally just hit it the moment the text bubble ended. So I consider that the more cheesy way. But I just couldn't do it. I was having a really hard time making it work and I was getting irritated. So that's what I did finally.
There's a couple cool stuff I think is cute because I kind of remember the beginning of this game too. What is it? I like having to dodge rocks from Goten, and then there's also like the fusion dance mini game too. There's a couple of cool things I like they did with this too as well. So
I love DDRS games a lot. And so, yeah, the fusion dances are extremely fun for me.
I failed at them a couple times.
That doesn't surprise me.
Just wouldn't hit the right buttons. It was funny though how you just keep doing it. Like, oh, we failed out. Hey, just wait right there, boss. We'll be right with you. So I have a random Dragon Ball Z question. When it comes to in the first world tournament in this game, those two people that you have to fight that like steal Gohan's power, were they in this anime earlier?
No.
Oh, okay. Because they make a reference that they fought them before or something about them. I was wondering maybe they had shown up earlier.
Think so.
Okay.
I remember them just kind of showing up and then in the anime being like, those guys are weird. That's the only thing I remember.
Okay, I was just curious. I mean, this game also did exactly what I wanted, like, back in 2004, because since I never really watched Dragon Ball Z, because I wasn't going to buy all the VHS tapes, or DVDs, or whatever was out at the time, like, this game, gives me a retelling of the Buu saga where I could have been competent to talk about it. That's what I could think about when I played. I was like, man, where was this when I was in high school? I mean, it came out, so I could have played it, but why didn't I? Like, this would have helped me been able to actually understand the Buu saga with people that were talking about it. Since I remember being like, I want a game that just explains to me the anime without me having to watch the anime. I don't have time for that. Or really didn't have time. I couldn't find it. It wasn't like, I wasn't going to watch Toonami and go back in time. So,
it's okay.
That's a little thing I like.
I'm glad at least this game goes with that because I'm kind of sick of what was it that I was playing? No, it was what is it? The Legend of, or what's the one that came out recently that was a big one? It was like something at Kakarot.
Dragon Ball Z Kakarot?
Yeah, just Kakarot. Okay.
Yeah, just Kakarot.
I bought that and I was really excited to play it, but I was like, I don't want to play a fucking 80-hour Dragon Ball Z RPG playing as Goku, and then like it starts you off in like the ass beginning of that, and it's like I just want to be Super Saiyan. So I got like 10 hours in, so this is at a nice spot where it's just kind of where it is.
I thoroughly enjoyed Sparking Zero.
I've heard good things about that one too. I want to play more Dragon Ball Z games. I just
are bad at fighting games.
I'm bad at fighting games. But plus, I'm starting to put fighting games on this podcast too. So I also cheat fighting games, and you shouldn't be surprised.
So yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Okay, good. It should. I cheat every game I play.
Playing Kingdom Hearts, and you're like, yeah, I put it on the easiest, and I was like, yeah, I was disappointed because the game was so easy. You can go on the hardest diffifculty and just mash attack.
I also use save states too, so hey. But I don't think I had to use save states for this game. I didn't need to. I think I might have here or there. Yeah, no, I did, but I didn't really need to. Just how I play games.
Nothing
and I can't change that, nor do I care to. It's just how I play. But I mean, my whole thing is if I have fun, I have fun.
There's no time. As much content as you shoot out throughout the year, Mike, I honestly do not blame you for playing games on easy because honestly, I don't have time for video games anymore, and I'm starting to get there.
Well, I mean, my goal this year, I've said it before, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna try to beat 100 games this year. So at the time of this recording, I'm at 9. So we're getting there. I gotta do 8 a month at least. So
minimum.
I can do it.
Throw Terraria onto that list. No.
Terraria?
Yeah.
Oh god, I tried that game once, but it didn't end. I don't know. I didn't like it.
There's technically an end to it.
That's what I've heard. It was actually supposed to be on this podcast at one point because one of my previous co-hosts was a big fan of that game, so we were talking about putting it on, but then he quit the show, so it never happened. It's kind of why this game never took 5 years to happen because the guy who introduced the second game on the show left the show, so it took me a long time to do things that other people had put on the show that had left because I just kind of had a sour taste in my mouth, I guess, for lack of a better word.
So I have well over 2,000 hours in Terraria.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. The combat in this game is kind of basic. You have your punch, and you have different key abilities. You can use a key blast, and you get some of the other abilities that different characters have, like Gallic Gun. I mean, the only thing I ever used was I went into Super Saiyan. That was it. I didn't use anything else in this game.
There's no reason to.
Okay, good. So it wasn't just me. I did like the Super Saiyan stuff. I liked it because you go so much faster too. So I'm like, this is great. I use that a lot. Plus your key refills as you sit, so that's nice too.
Does it really?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't move, the key just refills. So you can do a lot of cool stuff by doing nothing, which is also what I did. Because I would just wait. So there's no way to heal in this game besides leveling up. Like, there's no healing spell or anything. I was a little disappointed about that. I have a real weak spot I like to be able to heal in a game.
Well, that weak spot was kind of guaranteed when they wanted to follow the content relatively accurately.
Oh, yeah. There's probably no
one,
healing,
no,
so
no one has a healing spell in the show.
yeah. No, I get it. It's a video game thingy for me where I like to have healing spells. It's just one of those things.
No, I feel that. And I really like to be able to, a game offers a mini map. I like to be able to make a map overlay on my screen. One of the things I really like games to do.
I was a little disappointed that it didn't really, it barely showed you where to go. Like you just kind of like fly around the world map and just figure it out on your own, which I wasn't a big fan of that. I wanted more information given to me.
I feel that. I once got lost in a game for like 6 hours trying to find where to go because it was like I was dumb and I had saved, but I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and I wasn't paying attention to the story at this point because I was just frustrated, so I was mashing through dialogue. And then in that dialogue, they tell you where you need to go, but the quest itself is like a super vague riddle of where you need to go. And so I spent like 8 hours or so just trying to find this location, and it made me quit the game.
That's
For-
when you look up the internet.
For a good chunk of time, I quit the game and I came back and legitimately I was like, Google, because the quest name, there's not really quest names, just kind of like objectives. And so I
Okay.
was like, this objective? Like trying to find the right one. And yeah, I definitely used the Where Do I Go guide for Boo's Fury just to save time as well, since I wanted to close to 100% it.
I mean, I had a guide open too. Like, don't feel bad. That's how you play games. That's how I play every game. Like, I hate. That's why one reason I won't play new games because I need the guide to be up. You know, I don't want to get stuck. I don't got time for that. So
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way. That's why a lot of, like, as much as I hate to admit it, a lot of newer horror games, I'll give it like a month or two just so I can just so I can look up a guide.
it just works better. Like, you know, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, in this game, the only thing that really confused me is when you're trying to do the Dragon Radar. Like, I used the guide to figure out where to go at first because I'm just like, you want me just to fly around the map and wait for the little radar to point arrows at me, which wasn't too bad. But I'm like, I'm just gonna look online and see where it tells me where to go.
Yeah.
So that was my solution. But that's also a decent. That was a good part with Gotenks and Trunks flying around. It worked really well for me, and I had a really good time with it. A way better time than I expected, just flying around. I mean, Gotenks and Trunks really were fun to play as. I don't know why, I just liked them a lot.
They were, because some of their moves are the most entertaining ones to use.
So I know it's from the anime, right, where Gotenks is that stupid and like pretty much could have killed Boo but didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, two children's brains melding.
To say in children's brain melding.
And one of those stands is Goku's.
Yeah.
God, Goku is such a bad father. Oh my god.
Well, and dumb.
I think people are too hard on the Goku's a bad father thing. I think it's just a general thing that we all got used to. But I don't think he's do I think he's a bad father? No. Do I think he's the best father? Fuck no. I think most TV fathers are bad except for maybe Bob Burger.
I never watched that show.
It's a cute show.
Okay.
It's so good.
But
I've never thought of Goku as a bad father either, because it's like, yeah, he's always gone, but at the end of the day, he's always the one saving the day because of what he did mostly when he was gone. So it's like,
okay, that's fair.
we can go with dumb. There's a decent reason for him to not be super involved with his children's upbringing, as sad as that sounds. And yeah, because he's dead all the time. You know, if they just found the Dragon Balls faster.
I still love in Dragon Ball when he marries Chi-Chi. It's because she's like, let's get married. He's like, is that some kind of food? That's literally in the anime.
Yeah.
That's why he marries her, because he thinks it's food.
I do. Well, he agrees to marry her as a kid, but them getting married later on is actually a really cute moment.
It is. I like the Dragon Ball anime. I watched the entire original Dragon Ball, and then I got to the beginning. I got to the beginning of the Cell saga when I met my wife, and then I stopped watching it because I was pirating all of this, and it was just my life was empty and hopeless, and I was like, well, I'm just going to watch a ton of Dragon Ball Z. Again, that's why I even was watching all the movies too, Joe, that where the internet would recommend, like, hey, watch this movie here, watch this movie here.
Yeah, the movies don't really, the movies don't have a really good accurate timeline. It's really funny. They kind of take place in what is essentially filler land, because I think, like,
I was gonna say in movie land.
Yeah, to where people don't even think they take place in, like, the same timeline. I say that because, like I said, off the top of my head, the was it the Brawly movie takes place in like the middle of like them, the like right before like the Cell game start, and then the one before that, the Android movie, the Android 13 movie. That one takes place in like a really weird spot too. It doesn't make sense. And even weirder, this doesn't make any sense. The movie I keep telling Mike to watch, the one with where they fight a big monster and the guy looks like Chrono from Chrono Trigger. The explanation for that whole movie is like, oh man, you really are a good kid, Trunks. Here's my sword. Wait, so that's the backstory for future Trunks' sword? Yeah, but this isn't that timeline though. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, technically, I almost feel like all of the Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z movies aren't canon.
They're
Like
super
I don't,
not.
They're
I
not.
don't know that if any of those were ever supposed to be canon.
They
So
weren't.
where they throw them into the timelines just does not make any sense.
It's just fans trying to be like, okay, it kind of fits here because of the characters that are involved in the power levels. That's kind of just how they do it. There's no real, like, I think, is that a thing with a lot of anime movies back then where they weren't really canon? They were just movies just to have a movie?
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, we've now double backed on that to where now movies are canon to the series, which I'm completely fine with.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, you just,
everything from Battle of the Gods on has been canon.
yes, those are all. I mean, well, Battle of the Gods and Resurrection F become frickin' story arcs in Dragon Ball Super, which I watched some of and couldn't finish. So there's that. No, I really love. I mean, that's also why this game is on the show, because we did when Akira Toriyama passed. So this name wrong, but when he passed, Joe had mentioned about us doing Gods of Fury. Is it Gods of Fury? I say it right. Oh. Well, the Gods movie and Resurrection F, and that's what then led me into a really big Dragon Ball Z mood. And we did this. We did Brawly. We're gonna be doing Budokai soon. Like it just opened a can of worms for me to get back into Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball Z, I always feel, is, as much as I hate to admit it, is a very good introduction to an anime series for beginners. It's very much, yeah, it's pretty basic and it's pretty fun to go through. Do I recommend it if you've been watching anime for a while? Probably not. But I take my anime opinion very seriously because I think I'm at least on the end where there's some stuff I will straight up not recommend to people because it is either bad or it is just stupid.
Like I'm curious about Dragon Ball Daima, but I haven't given it a try yet.
I heard
I'm
it's fun.
curious about it.
I've heard good and bad things about it.
Mhm.
But, I mean, what anime out there have you not heard good and bad things about? I've only seen about, like, 6 episodes in or something. I first started watching it when it was still being released, like, weekly. And so I was like, I'm tired of waiting each week. And I just haven't gone back to watch all the episodes that have come out now.
Oh, is it finished yet and dubbed?
I don't think it's finished.
Okay, that's what I'll wait till it finishes and I'll watch because I'm curious about it and because I'm just kind of in that Dragon Ball mood. So Daima got me like another thing that really got me into Dragon Ball mood. Also, why we played this game for the show is that I went to they had an event in Mall America, the Dragon Ball tour or Dragon Ball Daima tour, and it came to Mall America and then went to Edmonton, Canada, and somewhere else, and it happened to be here, so I went to it. It was actually a really cool little event. We just did some couple photo op with things you could try out the games. I didn't care about that. I'm like, here, I'll play those games like 20 years from now. But it was really cool. And it got me really thinking about Dragon Ball even more. So just everything. But I do want to watch Daima at some point. I also want to watch more of the Dragon Ball Z movies. I'm going to do Superhero probably soon. I was just waiting for this to get done because I didn't want to do too much Dragon Ball stuff in a row where I'll get my stuff mixed up. But yeah, Superhero's coming because I want to watch it. And then we get to watch the old movies then, Joe.
Yeah.
Not all of them are bad. So
I want to say everything except for I want to say the one where Goku turns Super Saiyan isn't really that good of a movie, but I'm pretty sure all the ones up to like I think Brawly are pretty okay.
I really want to watch Fusion because Fusion is the one that's in this game too that doesn't belong.
Keep forgetting Fusion exists. Yeah, Fusion's also in this one. Yeah.
What's up with all the jelly beans? Are they shrunk down? Is that the whole idea?
I believe the joke is that the villain. It's supposed to be a joke because they always rip off what's going on in the series. Like technically, what is in the earlier movies, Cooler is just a cooler version of Frieza. And everything, yeah, and everything they do with that movie is like the same thing. Like, oh, what happened with Frieza? Oh, Frieza's an alien. Okay, we'll go ahead and do a Cooler movie, which is a brother, but he gets another form. Okay. What was the other one? What is it? What about Cooler's Revenge? Oh, I know. Let's make him a robot. didn't we make Frieza a robot? Yeah, but he's a cooler robot. Oh, okay. So there's that.
I do want to watch it. I mean, I did like the whole like them. I knew what it was. I knew it was from the Fusion movie just because. But I thought it was a fun. It's a fun arc. Like you have to go back down to the underworld, and he's been turned into like a jelly bean or whatever the fuck it was, and everyone needs your help. It was just fun.
Yeah, it's because I think Boo likes candy, so they made the villain for the movie also like candy. But someone can fact check on me. Austin, do you know anything about that movie?
I do not.
Okay.
Like I've seen it, but it's been so long since I've seen it that I do not remember a single detail.
As soon as I saw the jelly beans, I knew that it wasn't the Boo arc and that it was the movie. So that was cool, at least. I don't know, I had fun with it. I thought it was a fun little, like, just chapter to kind of break up stuff. My only complaint, which is a dumb complaint, is that it wasn't a side quest. Because to me, it feels that, like, Legacy Goku 2 does this, where the movie, like, you fight Cooler is a side quest, an optional quest in the game, where this was just part of the game, and I felt like it should have been, since it isn't canon, it should be a side quest. But that's a dumb complaint. So I can't really, like, it doesn't matter. You know, like you can't be like, oh, they should, like, it doesn't matter. Like it's a level in the game, it's fun, it adds more to the game, you have a unique boss fight. I mean, the boss fights are all the same, but you still have a unique boss fight that wasn't part of the Buu saga first. So someone who was playing this, who's a big Dragon Ball Z fan, like, oh my god, who is this? Because I'm assuming the movie might have not even come to America yet at this time, or maybe it did, I don't know. But it probably wasn't as, like, easy to find, because anime was ridiculous.
Anime culture hadn't grown enough yet to make it easy to find.
Movies were ridiculously priced back then for anime.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember paying way too much for some of the animes that I had. Like, it was crazy what you paid. I remember buying Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust at Babbage's for $25 in like 2002 or 2001. Like, that's a lot of money for a DVD in 2001. Like, a lot. I don't even want to pay that now. I was supposed to buy Tale of Two Sisters for this podcast, and I was like, I ain't spending $25 on a DVD. Fuck no, I'll just wait.
That's fair.
So, I still have that movie, by the way, somewhere, but also want to do it on the podcast. But I mean, just like, yeah, anime is ridiculous. So I feel like that was such a big treat for people to have that in this game. Is what I meant to say. What I want to say. Oh, that movie's from '95.
Yeah.
God.
Well, that was probably a Japanese release. But
that is a Japanese release. Yeah, I forget how, like. Oh, we didn't get it till 2006.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't even have been here yet. So people would have been like, "What the fuck is this?" Okay, that's even cooler now. All right, I'll take it.
Yeah. What is it? I keep forgetting movies, and I apologize for that most part, because I keep saying Brawly's the last good movie, because it's Brawly, and then it's the BoJack movie. I heard the BoJack movie's pretty okay, because it's about Gohan. I think he goes Super Saiyan 2 again for that movie, and then I want to say it's the second Brawly movie, which is also okay. We can skip that one if you really want to. And then that other movie that I keep talking about, and then the Fusion movie. And I think that's pretty much where we should probably end it if you want to do movies.
We'll
Bio Brawly 3 is awful, as we keep saying.
That's why I kind of want to watch it now.
Okay.
But we'll see. I really want to do Coolers because I have a soft spot for Cooler because I was around when those movies came out on Toonami for the first time ever in America. So I have a soft spot for that. But that's nostalgic. But we'll see when we get those, when that happens. But I also was looking at the Brawly movie. The Brawly movie came out in 2003, so it would have been like right before this game came out. It came out in America, so that was probably been a big deal too to see Brawly in this game.
Yeah, people really like Brawly.
I mean, in 2003, I mean the internet's definitely around, and I was pirating in 2003. It's on dial-up, but like, so people could have seen
pirating.
These movies.
It was LimeWire.
LimeWire wasn't pirating. LimeWire was giving yourself viruses.
Oh, you guys made me feel old.
Smart.
Fuck you guys.
I didn't use LimeWire, actually. I used WinMX. I was introduced to WinMX, which wasn't bad. WinMX was fine, and there was Kazaa, which was terrible, which is what my friend used until he realized, why do I have this random movies that I didn't download on my computer? Why is all this porn here that I didn't download them? Kazaa would just use your computer as a base it would hide things and then upload them. So it was terrible. The LimeWire was the virus one, where people would hide things as .exe and people didn't realize what they were doing. Oh god, that's some old memories there. Yeah, I forgot. I was WinMX is what I was. I didn't get into torrents till later, or maybe torrents didn't come around till later. And this kind of fits Dragon Ball Z. When I was watching Dragon Ball Z, I remember having a torrent on my desktop, and I had a guy come in from the computer from the internet company to do something for my computer, and I just remember, oh, maybe I should not have that on the desktop.
So I I can go through them real quick if anything. It's Dead Zone, World's Strongest, Tree of Might, Lord Slug, Cooler's Revenge, and then Return of Cooler back
I've
to
seen
back.
all
Thankfully.
those.
Yeah, Super Android 13, then Brawly, then Bojack, then Brawly 2, then Bio Brawly, then Fusion Reborn, and then Wrath of Dragon. Wrath of Dragon's the one I wanted you to watch. And then
Okay.
then after that, all of the new movies, which we've all seen except Superhero.
Yeah. Maybe we'll go backwards.
Superhero is fantastic.
We'll let's go backwards maybe with the movie and see how far we get.
Which movie was that, Austin?
I said superhero is fantastic.
I can't wait to watch that one. I love Gohan. I have a very soft spot for Gohan.
It's gonna be soon. I think I'm gonna do it next month because you keep talking about it and I keep thinking about it. So I think it's time. And it's on
I'll just
Crunchyroll,
send
so I
you a
don't have to
message.
buy it.
I'll send you a message a day of a single frame from superhero.
I mean, I have to do Budokai. I try not to do too much of the same series in a row, so I mean, I don't mind, but I like to finish one, then plan the next one type of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't get. And also another thing I do is I download images of stuff that I want to do for minis and movies, so it's in my face staring at me, so I know I have to do it. It works, by the way. So it makes me go, you should do that, Mike. But yeah, neither here nor there. But yes, that's what. So like, the Brawly thing, I bet that was a big deal too to people to be able to fight Brawly, because since he wasn't really here and he wouldn't have been in games, I don't think yet. Because in 2004 we didn't have that many Dragon Ball games. I'm pretty sure
We did not have that many Dragon Ball games. Weird tangent. Because of it, because me and my sister were really into Dragon Ball Z games, and this one's American made, right?
Yes, Webfoot is. I'm pretty sure it's America.
Yeah, my sister like hacked her PlayStation 1. We went to like the mall where I hope I bring up memories for someone for this. We went to the mall that my uncle found out about, and basically we came home from school and my uncle's like, "Hey, you guys really like those Dragon Ball Z games, right?" And we're like, "Yeah, why?" He unhooked my sister's PlayStation. We went down to the mall. There was like this weird like stand, and my uncle goes up. He goes, "Hey, you remember me?" And the guy's like, "Oh yeah, you come by." He goes, "Yeah, I want to bring the kids so they can show them." So the guy pulls out like a Dragon Ball Z game, and it went all the way up to GT. And so you actually fight like a big monkey, the baby monkey. You know what I'm talking about, Mike, Austin?
Sort of.
Vaguely.
In GT, the baby takes over Vegeta, and then Vegeta turns into a big monkey, Super Saiyan monkey. Either way, he had that game. It was all in Japanese. We had no idea how we were playing it, but he had to like stick like this big blue block in the back of the PlayStation, and he's like, "You have to use this because I guess my uncle wanted him to explain it to us too with him. He's like, you gotta take this spring and put it in the PlayStation, and the disk drive has to remain open, and this block helps it basically jailbreak it, and you'll be able to play the game." And that's how we were able to play a couple of the games like super earlier. Never came here.
The first official release of a Dragon Ball Z game in America that I can find. Oh, maybe I don't know if this is accurate. Ultimate Battle 22 is 2003, but I think Legacy Goku had to have been before that. But Ultimate Battle 22 is terrible, by the way. So just if you'd ever played it, it's fucking awful. I remember my friend bought it for $20 and was so excited until he played it. Then he was not excited anymore. We bought it at Toys R Us. Yeah, we didn't. I mean, we were starting. I mean, this is the beginning of Dragon Ball Z stuff because this is before we get Budokai. But was Budokai 2003? I can't remember. Or 2005. That's one of the first like really big Dragon Ball Z games that we get in America. That's 2002. Okay, so we had some Dragon Ball Z game by the time. Okay, with Boo's Fury. All right, so we had some stuff out there. And then eventually this game ends by they kill Kid Buu, and then there's the small arc which we still haven't gotten caught up to apparently yet because it takes place in 20 years after Dragon Ball Z, right? Or 10 years?
What is it? The
tournament.
The epilogue?
Yeah, the epilogue tournament that you guys were talking about.
That's the 10-year arc. That's wherever Goku. It doesn't have anything to do with GT. It's the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, which after they beat Buu, the last episode of 10 years in the future. And yeah, officially Super has not gotten close to that. I think Super is like a year after the Buu fight. And so everyone's like, they were asking like, Akira Toriyama, are you gonna figure that out? He's like, you'll figure it out eventually. And then he passed, and it's like, oh shit.
Well, as a writer, like I'm sure he wrote down what he wanted somewhere. Like he had an outline.
He did. His son's taking over, and his son's the one that wrote the superhero movie, which everyone liked too. So, but it's kind of the thing I like to reference it, which is funny because it goes through the whole thing. People like Gohan is the same equivalent of the original or the second trilogy for Star Wars. Whenever that came out, people were pissed off, but like the kids Like people our age really like the prequel trilogy. Same concept. Everyone I know my age is like, I really like GT and like Gohan is the main character. But the fans who have been there forever were the ones that were complaining, so they remade back to Goku. So I have a feeling we're still gonna get Dragon Ball Z, and it's gonna be written by his son, and it's gonna be probably as good as it's ever been. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
I am too. I never watched GT because so many people complained about it.
It's weird. The first the first like arc is weird whenever the Dragon Balls get thrown off of the Earth, and then they have to go look for them. And there's a couple of weird episodes. Like there's a guy that's trying to dress up Pan as a doll, and I don't think we ever got those. I think they listed them as like the lost episode, and then we got them like halfway through the baby after like the baby saga or something like some shit like that. We got them and people thought they were weird, but I like GT. Super Saiyan 4 is my favorite form in the entire series so far. So I'm hoping they bring it back officially at some point.
Okay. I just
I've
remember
heard
people
they intend to with the new Daima.
Oh, really?
Yeah. GT's not canon, right?
It's
Technically not, but that's what they are doing with Daima.
Okay.
Is they're kind of canonizing it.
Okay.
And that's why I like there's what I've heard is them bringing back Super Saiyan 4 now is that it can be like it could still be a jump up in power rather than being like in a lot earlier of content basically.
Oh yeah, because they're so much more powerful, compared to where they were. Because Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan God Blue and Super Saiyan Primal, right, is what we're at now.
yeah, that's what Brawly is in the movie.
Oh yeah, Brawly.
Yeah.
It wasn't he didn't do Primal very long in that movie, I don't think, though, right?
No, I don't even think he officially achieved it because I read the manga, and the manga kind of shows that he what's it called, that he masters it kind of, and the manga kind of ends in a really kind of sad cliffhanger where they all kind of tell each other bye for the day and they'll see each other tomorrow. It's actually pretty fucking sad. So I'm excited to see where it goes because they did say like, oh, they're ending Dragon Ball in one big final arc. So.
Oh, well, that's not a bad thing. It's gone on for so many years. It wouldn't be bad if you want to retire and now that the creator is dead, just make the anime. So let the show finish one way or the other.
They ended Berserk in a pretty good way, I'll admit that. So
Berserk was still going?
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of that anime back in my WinMX days when it took me a day to download an episode. I did watch all of Berserk and what was on at the time. God, I forgot about the days of using dial-up WinMX to download stuff. Those were the days. Oh my god, it's a long time ago. I forgot you fight ninjas at one point in this game in samurais for some reason when you're going after the Dragon Balls.
Just fight gang members.
It was fine. I mean, you had the pyramid, which was fine. I'm trying to think what else you have to do. There was an airship that was cool. I did like that part. I found it by accident.
There's random submarines too, I think, as well. You can get stuff from. Yeah.
It's a cool game. I did really like this game. And they do a lot of, because there's not a ton of fights in the Boo saga. It's just them fighting Boo over and over again and losing. So they made it work.
Pretty much.
Man, does Boo kick their ass.
It's the part you play as Hercule.
Hercule's such a fucking dumbass. Oh, I do want to mention that Super Saiyan 3 stuff was cool in this game where you had to go Super Saiyan and then go Super Saiyan 3. It didn't seem worth it, but it was cool that it was there. They don't really do anything with Super Saiyan 3, I feel like. They just kind of like forgot about it, is how it felt to me, as a guy who's watched the later movies.
Yeah.
They found God in Blue, so I guess they just go God in Blue now.
Yep. Good old power creep. But how does it fit in here? Nope, we're higher than that now. Don't worry about it.
We need new forms, new toys, new toys! I don't know if Dragon Ball Z was big on toys. I'm assuming, because every kid's show is big on toys. Just the way it works.
I feel like they did, but I also feel like they didn't for a long time. It was still like relatively new, so anime culture wasn't big. I don't know how many actually ever ended up getting, like when the first toys of anime started to show up.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Been a while.
But you're probably right. This probably wasn't as big like as toys as what we are in America when it comes to stuff. Because we are just, if it doesn't sell toys, we can't have the show. Because the toys pay for the show.
Much. The show pays for the manga.
So that's probably what it is. All right. Any last things you guys want to say about this game that we haven't said yet? Any other parts you want to mention about the Boo saga in general? Since we'll probably never talk about the Boo saga otherwise. So I just thought of something. You guys, if you have anything, then I'll talk.
So the only thing I can think of is you run around Boo's guts. That's pretty funny.
I mean, it's from the anime.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to mention, which I thought was stupid, and that's why, because after you beat this game, I think King Kai or someone tells you, hey, there's new enemies in the map, and you can go back to other areas you've been to before. Now they all are filled with new enemies, and I guess maybe items you can get, because you can also equip stuff in this game too. You get armor, but there's no new bosses. Because I looked it up, thinking, okay, are there hidden bosses that I can fight? Because then I'll play. Like, I'll keep playing this game. I was ahead of schedule. I'm like, I got time. But there's no secret bosses, and that kind of upset me. I wanted there because you have all these movies, you have other stuff you could have drawn from. You could have had another Brawly fight or something, but there's not a single secret boss in this game. Where Legacy of Goku 2 had cooler for sure. I think it might have just been cooler, but at least it had something. This has nothing. So that was a bit of a letdown. So
yeah, I'm kind of used to it. I played a lot of the JRPGs from back in the day that I played have the same bosses recycled. I was kind of
something like that. I would have been okay with that too. Just something. But there was nothing. But I wonder if this game was a bit rushed too, because they're like, hey, we got to get this out while the Dragon Ball Z fever is still going on, for Boo.
And funny enough, when this came out, I believe that as I looked it up a little bit too, the 3DS was out whenever this came out, so it's kind of a thing too. Where you're also gonna.
You mean the DS?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes sense too. People were jumping ship fast.
Well, the DS still had a Game Boy Advance slot, so yeah.
But I mean, you're gonna want to buy a Game Boy Advance game for your DS when you can buy a DS game for your DS,
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I bought a DS because I never had a Game Boy Advance, and I got a killer deal on a DS. I got a launch model for $60 off a guy who bought it, was upset, and wanted a guitar.
God damn.
I played it on SP.
That's probably the right way to play this.
God, I love PSP.
Hey Austin, I still have that 3DS you sold me. I still use it too once in a while for the show. I have a flash card for it. That's how I play it now.
I did not even remember selling a 3DS.
You sold me a red 3DS and a bunch of games a long time ago in a galaxy far, far
it
away.
rings a bell now, but like so far back in the memory bank, it was like, wait, I sold a 3DS?
I mean, that was it was over 6 years ago, easy. Because I was at FedEx for 5 years. It was my first year of FedEx. I've been out of FedEx for over 3 years now. So, yeah, it's a long time ago.
I want to say it's closer to 8 or 9 years now.
Possible. I've been with Tiff 9 years now. A little over 9 years. We've been together.
I'm pretty sure it was your guys' first year marriage that
we did get married pretty quick. So, yeah, it's probably about 7. A long time. But I still have it. I have a case for it, and it sits near me, and then every so often we do a DS game for this show, and it gets pulled out. With my flash card, I load on the DS game, and I play them that way, which I enjoy. Because DS is one of those things that you can emulate it, but you're missing something. So, and this is also the arc that introduces Gogeta and Vegito, which don't really do anything. They fight Boo way too many fucking times in the show.
Yeah, they really one up. They really one up the because technically they one up the whole what is it called, the forms, because that usually with both with Frieza and Cell they have like 3 forms, but Boo has Fat Boo, Evil Boo, and then you have
Boo.
You have what?
Super Boo.
You have Super Boo, but then Super Boo also has like Super Boo with Gohan, and then Super Boo with Gotenks, and then you have Kid Boo, and then you fight different forms of Kid Boo. There's like a bunch of Kid Boos running around too at one point as well. You have to fight.
I think so, yes. The ending of this game is just you playing as Vegeta, and you really just have to run around for a minute. Literally a minute. Just run around in circles and dodge them. But yeah, I still think that ending is stupid where Hercule's like, come on, everybody! Cheer for Goku! Because nobody knows who Goku is, because they think Hercule saved the world and beat Cell. God, Hercule's a dumbass. Fucking Hercule.
He had his moments.
It is cool how you have to free the other, like when you free Gohan and Trunks and Goten when you're inside Boo's guts. Which also, for me, the Dragon Ball Z game that will always live in my head rent-free is that card game we did for the show a couple years ago, Legendary Super Saiyan. You do it in that game too. I love that stupid game. I really do. So there's also a part of me now that wants to do all the Dragon Ball games for Game Boy Advance. There's a couple turds in there, by the way. But I do kind of want to. We'll see if it happens, but I do want to. So can't guarantee it will happen, but it's on my mind now that we got this done. There's 2 fighting games for the Game Boy Advance, which are both, one is supposed to be awful, one's okay. There's a card game, which I'm definitely not doing, and then there's the Dragon Ball game that the Advance Venture, which we are definitely doing, probably soon-ish.
Okay.
Because I want to play it. All right, I think we should go to comments, questions, and memories. I don't think we have anything else to say. I didn't get a lot, unfortunately. I thought more people would have things to say, but then again, this is just one of those games where I don't think people just don't have as much for it. So I posted in 5 different groups thinking I would get more comments. I got a few in the I watched the entire Oblood Super Replay group from Matt Clark. Really fun game at the time, but a bit hard to go back to. Unfortunately, I was always a sucker for any DBZ open worlds in quotations with secrets to discover. And from Kat D. Monette, she has 2 comments. Well, I played this game to death and still have my copy with all my completed save files. I actually liked it more than Legacy of Goku 2 because of the updated combat system and the fact that you can level 200 and just one-shot everything in the game. The multiplayer mode dojo you could do with friends netted us a lot of hours of playtime back in 04, 05. I didn't even know this had multiplayer.
Yeah, multiplayer.
Wow. Okay, and then her other comment is, the Goku hat was the most broken item in the game because you wore it every time your character leveled up, you got an extra stat point. Damn, that is broken.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Kevin Blant, like Kat said, the Goku hat absolutely breaks the game. I like the idea of the equipment system, but in general, it breaks the game and allows your characters to get way overpowered. It's still an excellent game, though. A bad thing. If you're having fun, it doesn't matter.
I love being overpowered.
And from the official Laser Time community, from Ian Frederick, Boo's Fury sounds like a slang term for intestinal distress. I love that comment.
That joke hurt in a weird way. You know why?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I didn't think about that. So
I think it's funny, though.
Yeah. When you go to the hospital, you'd be like, I got Boo's Fury.
Boo's Fury.
Tell your husband.
I will. He's going to kick out of that.
From Dead Pandina, I had Boo's Fury back when I still had a GBA. It was a really fun game. Right. And I posted in 2 other groups, but nobody commented. So, yeah, I was surprised. I thought more people would have stuff to say about this game. But I think this is just one of those things where people had moved on at the time and weren't, just wasn't as nostalgic for people.
I also think it's because of the what's the word I'm looking for? Stereotype that you would fall into liking anime back then. I just think not as many people really played this game.
That's probably fair. I mean, I don't even think about that because I was in anime at this time. Like, I was always that guy. So
I was that guy ever since I saw the first episode of Gundam Wing.
I should really watch Gundam. Besides Gundam G, but I don't really like it because it's not dubbed.
Yeah, that dub's the best part of that one.
It's just hard because I watch anime while I'm doing other things, and I can't exactly. I need to be able to hear. I should check out Gundam Wing. I'm assuming it's on Crunchyroll.
I would assume so.
Mm-hmm. I forgot about that. I mean, I should think about when you think of anime. I'm a little otaku as he pisses his pants in the locker because he's about to get murdered, which is a fair reason to piss your pants. No, your solid reference. But that's so yeah. I mean, you're probably right. There probably was a lot of people who were like, anime stupid. That probably fits into why people are like that. I forget about that because it was so long ago. But yeah, I was just really surprised. Not people had a lot to say. So, all right. And before we go to Shelf Stacker Box, I want to give away a code. Let's see what I have here. I was running out of codes, but then Fanatical was very nice and had a big bundle and gave me lots of codes again. So, thank you, Fanatical. And this code is for Steam for Chivalry 2. I have no idea what this is. Your code is YTF5. KJQQJZDITL. That is your code for Chivalry 2. All right, because I like to give away a code every game episode until I run out of codes. So that day hasn't come yet. So all right, let's go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Joe, why don't you lead us in?
I'd probably put this on the shelf. These games don't really miss very well. And especially being a Dragon Ball Z fan, I think it's a good way. Because honestly, replaying this was like, oh yeah, this is basically the Buu saga, and which I haven't seen in God knows how fucking long. So it was pretty all right. And it's the Legacy of Goku game, so there's no issue with those games either. So I like them a lot. So yeah, I put them on the shelf.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm gonna put this on the shelf too. I had a really good time. I just enjoyed myself. Like this was a fun game. And I got to experience the Buu saga as a guy who never actually watched all of it. Now I understand it better. So, I mean, it's a truncated version, but at least I still got to, enjoy it. And now I'm more aware of it. I mean, because I knew some of it from just being around in 2001, 2002 when this was happening on Toonami. But it feels good to play this game finally because I've been meaning to play this game since 2004, 20 years ago. And Austin.
Yeah, definitely a shelf for me as well. As much as I find the grinding tedious, it's also one of the things I love the most about video games. And allowing me to get to that unstoppable power creep of being overpowered and one-shotting everything in the game, I love when I can do that. I worked my ass off to get here. Let me do it. So
I really
definitely
enjoyed
a shelf for me.
I'm glad that you were able to join for this because this is a game that I always wanted to do. So I'm happy that we also got a new voice on the show.
Yeah, for sure.
And do you have
Now that
anything to plug?
I don't.
Okay. And if you would, so I'll just go right to plugs then. Oh, no, I don't. What am I doing? Supposed to introduce what we're talking about next week. I think I remember how to do the show after 300 some episodes of regular content. All right. What is next week? Oh, yeah. Next week is Blood Will Tell, a PS2 action game that you might not even know exists. So, based on an anime or a manga, Joe.
What is it?
A Blood Will Tell. It's not the name of the manga, but it's based on a manga.
Okay.
I don't remember what the manga is called. Tetsumoro Duroro or something like that.
English, please.
That's all I have. There's an anime of it, and it's on Amazon Prime, I guess.
Huh. Okay.
I'll post the name in the chat. You can Google it. But yeah, Blood Will Tell is the game. Yeah. All right. So that's what you get to hear about next week. And if you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon. Little dog vote in our Patreon poll. We have 1 to 2 polls a month, so great way to support the show. If you want to be on the show, join our Discord. It is free. If you want to suggest things, be on the show. If you want to just chat, if you want to just lurk and make the number go up, it's fine too. You get to be part of the community. So I'm happy with it. I don't. Oh, and I did want to say we have if you want more Dragon Ball Z, we don't have a ton yet. We're getting there. But there will be links in the show notes to all our other Dragon Ball Z content. So if you listen to this, go check out the other Dragon Ball Z episodes. It's fun. We want to hear more Dragon Ball stuff. That's there for you. And we have over 750 episodes of this podcast. Want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Free. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram. Definitely go check her out. And check out our Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. He's still talking Final Fantasy, but he's getting there. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, wherever, and rate and reviews wherever you get your podcasts. Helps out the algorithm, makes me smile, and costs you nothing. Please, if you listen to the show, just give us 5 stars. And I think that's everything I need to say. We will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Nara.
Ciao.